started in the pandemic, and I thought, is this going to keep going post-pandemic? But this is really the only easy way for us to see each other, all of our Twitter friends from all over the place. So we might as well keep it going. I will be here as long as you all are still, excited to join me. So thank you so much. Yeah, and tonight we have another cocktail presentation from Myles. Hi, Myles.
What up?
And then we're going to kick it over to Mindy for a presentation about UGC. So, Myles, yeah, I'll kick it over to you with your tropical cocktail today.
Oh, yeah. As you see, I got my shirt to match my tropical. It's got like pineapples and stuff on it. Shout out to my man, David Roosevelt's. The shirt is stupid comfortable. I know he said he's freezing his ass off though, wherever he is. I'm in South Florida. It's always hot. So this is perfect. But we're doing Tiki Town tonight. So usually Tiki cocktails are they're boozy, they're sweet. I like to let those bad boys ride out from the spring all the way through summer, and maybe even a little bit more, just because it's always appropriate for a tiki cocktail almost anytime. They're always delicious. Some are simple, a lot of them are complex in flavors. So this is my twist on a tiki style cocktail, and I actually made this one spicy this time. So tiki cocktails traditionally are not spicy, but I kind of wanted to give it a little, just a little kick to it, not do something so traditional. And then also, a lot of them are made with orgeat, which is a hazelnut liqueur. So instead of using the hazelnut, we're doing macadamia nut liqueur. This is Monin. Monin has like a jillion different flavors, super easy to find. It's nothing exotic or anything. It's just different flavor profile. If you don't like macadamia nut, run with the orgeat. Either way, you know how I say, if you like what's in your glass, that's what's most important. So this one, we're gonna start with icing our glass down first. For some reason, I always forget to do that in the beginning, and I shouldn't. So we're gonna go ahead and ice this bad boy up and just have that off to the side, ready to roll. Right? And then, in our tin, first we're gonna use plantation pineapple rum. This pineapple rum in particular is special. I love it. They actually put pineapple rinds in the rum, so it's not like that synthetic-y, weird, I don't want to take shots at other Malibu rums, but you guys pineapple rums, but you guys get what I'm getting at, like coconut rum, pineapple rums, any of those flavored rums, they use these additives and synthetic flavors that taste horrible. I find this one to be absolutely amazing. So we're gonna put 2 ounces of that in our mixing tin, right? And then we're going to do 1 ounce of mango nectar. These are super easy, super handy dandy. You can find these at any Publix if you don't want like a whole big thing of mango stuff hanging around, and they're very inexpensive. And we'll just do 1 ounce of that, right? 1 ounce of lime juice. And then we're gonna split this with the macadamia nut syrup. It's very potent. A little goes a long way. So just gonna do a little dab will do you. And then the same thing with the habanero. This is a habanero extract. So same thing, it's very concentrated. A couple of drops will get it done just fine. If you like it a little more spicy, by all means, add it as much as you want to whatever spice level your palate can take. I like spicy cocktails, so I may go a little heavier on the spice. But if you're trying to make this for other guests, I would highly, highly, highly recommend like really cutting it with water, or when you make your batches to try them first. I remember trying this at first and not really realizing that the spice scale was gonna be, as high as it was, and almost set my mouth on fire. So word to the wise, try it before you put it in any kind of cocktail. So we're just gonna put a little drop. Literally, that's all you need, and that will spice up the whole entire cocktail. Right? We're gonna add our ice. Give that bad boy a shake. You know the drill with the bartender smile all day. Make sure it's nice and incorporated. Perfect. And then we're just gonna put that right over the top. Boom. Now, with that, we're gonna float some dark rum over the top. Dark rum gives it that nice funk. I like Myers. Myers is like that triple OG dark rum that just never fails. Always an amazing additive to any kind of tiki cocktail, and it gives it that boozy, just pick me up punch that you're looking for. So we just float that right over the top, like so, and slap a dehydrated lime wheel on that bad boy. Boom. And we out here looking pretty.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Cheers.
And if y'all have any questions, I'm doing this from my phone, so I cannot see them if you type them. So please ask the questions out loud.
I would be very tempted to put an umbrella on this drink.
Oh, I got it. Trust me. The cheeky vibes on it. Like, I can go crazy with the cheeky stuff. I've got umbrellas. I've got all kind of literally just a box full of bamboo-shaped straws and all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
Ooh.
one of those in there too, since we're feeling festive.
Yeah, very festive.
Yes. This is perfect. I leave for the Keys on Friday. I'm ready.
Oh, this is
nice.
money for the Keys.
We'll meet you halfway, Mindy. We can carve.
Let's go.
I actually do have a question, Myles.
Yeah.
Can you actually put a couple of slices of the pepper itself in the drink as a substitute? Or
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I do spicy cocktails, me personally, I like seeing my peppers and having my peppers and stuff in cocktails. So the whole purpose behind using an extract or shaking the peppers in the glass and then double straining it, a lot of people don't like the seeds. A lot of people like the peppers get caught in their straw, so
okay.
they don't leave the pepper in. But once again, you like what's in your glass and you like peppers and you don't mind having them in your glass, there's nothing wrong with that. I honestly highly recommend using a fresh pepper over using a concentrate or a syrup because the flavor is so much better. And you don't have all the sweetness from a syrup.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You like your spicy cocktails, Jenny? You're a spice girl?
I actually do. Truth be told, I do like my spicy cocktails.
That's awesome.
Love a good spicy marg.
100%.
Sweet and spicy margs are my favorite. I've been doing a spicy pear margarita. That's been like my go-to. Pear nectar, jalapeno, some margarita mix. You do like a little tahini rim. Easy, and it's money.
That sounds fantastic.
It's delicious. And
tahini rim on everything.
Huh?
Tahini rim on everything.
Literally on everything. Tacos, margaritas. Just sprinkle it on your hand and lick it off. It just makes
like those OG Lucas days. The kids with the little Lucas thing, they pour it in their hand and just lick it off.
Just lick it off. That's it.
Love it. Love it. Any other questions for Myles about all things cocktails? The day before National Cocktail Day tomorrow.
Hey.
Heads up. Myles, tell us what's new. I know you were just in Kentucky for a whole bourbon tour.
Yeah, man. Took a little road trip with the fam. Went to Kentucky, went to a bunch of distilleries, got some amazing bourbon, got to try some amazing bourbon, got to see how a lot of bourbons were made up close and personal, which was amazing. Going to Buffalo Trace Distillery was like literally going to the Disney World of distilleries. Everybody there was super kind, super friendly. When you walk on the grounds, it just smells like fresh barrels and just fermented deliciousness just all throughout everywhere you go. It's just out of control. And then I learned a lot of the history there, and same experience with Old Forester. Old Forester actually was another one that was amazing, and it just had a lot of information and all the tours. I brought back a whole mess load of cooking stuff, sauces, staves, like pieces of the barrels. We try to like smoke food, smoke meat, smoke cocktails with. So I'm super geeked up about that. And then we went to Chattanooga for a little bit too. And stayed there for a few days. Same thing, it's just absolutely beautiful. And the food in Chattanooga is just out of control. Like when I say out of control, like they don't have like a whole bunch of big like corporate restaurants. Everything is mom and pop, and all of it, and I mean all of it is delicious. I have not had one bad meal out there ever. It's amazing.
I wouldn't have guessed
really
that
good.
about Chattanooga. That's
Oh, it's awesome. Like if you ever get the opportunity to go, if you have not been, I highly recommend it. It's something about there, man.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and it's peaceful.
Yeah. I saw Melissa wants to move there. So who knows?
Yeah, I would love to move there. It's just the cold is what scares me.
Yes.
You know, I'm a Florida boy. I really like being hot. Being too cold is not my jam
Yes.
at all.
We need our tiki drinks and warm weather. All right. Well, let me just share my screen really quick. Sam, I see your message and I will send you that link in a second. But yes, if you want the full recipe for the Tiki Town, whoops, here it is while I get my Canva situated. So yeah, I have also posted this if you want to grab the recipe. I think Myles, you've got like, at least from just Pop Chat happy hours alone, I think you have your cocktail book ready to go. So
you want to know what's funny? So I actually started, my cousin is she's a writer and she has like a couple of books published, and I was talking to her about that. About doing a book, like a cocktail book.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs of all of that stuff, but I think it'd be a really cool thing to do. As of lately, I've been doing like spirited foods, which if you guys don't follow me, whoever is out there that's listening and doesn't follow me, if you go to Standish Cocktails on Instagram, that's where I mainly post a lot of my videos. I've been doing spirited foods, which are basically just how it sounds, foods paired with spirits. The last one that I posted was a aviation gin pickled onions, which was just absolutely delicious. And that's kind of just been my niche for a good little while. And honestly, it's been amazing. The response has been amazing. Cooking has always been something that's a passion of mine aside from making cocktails. So I figured, why not put the two together? There's so many different styles and techniques and types of food that involve so many different spirits. I figured, why not bring that to the world and like really show them. So it's been a blast. It's been a journey thus far, just doing that. Yeah.
What's crazy is that you're just as good as cooking as you are at making cocktails. So I know Melissa hit the jackpot. Gotta love it.
Well, you actually got to try some of the food, so that's the.
I did. I hit the jackpot as well. Yeah, lucky that for those of you who don't know, Myles and I are actually in real life friends, and we live very close. So I do get to enjoy some of his cooking sometimes because you are so gracious inviting my husband and I over.
Of course, man. I love having you guys. We love having you guys over. It's just a blast anytime you guys pull up.
Yeah.
My bar is always open to y'all.
That is true. That is true. We'll have to get together again soon. But speaking of graciousness and generosity, if you would like, got to tip our bartenders, guys. So if you want, and you feel compelled to, you can please send Myles just a tip. Or of course, I hope you're following him on Instagram. I dropped the link in the chat. You can see all of his cool recipes and everything. So we definitely appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Myles, I hope you could stick around, but as always, I know you've got kiddos and stuff, so if you have to run, no worries. But really quick, before I kick it over to Mindy, I wanted to give David a second to plug his new Roosevelt's collection, because it's really awesome and he has a discount code just for Pop Chat friends. So
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally spaced that I was going to talk about this. Yeah, so I work for the Roosevelts. I'm an art director over there, and we just launched our very first Marvel collection. We kicked it off with Spider-Man yesterday, and tomorrow we're launching our Little Things collection, which has a bunch of really cool Marvel-inspired tiny patterns. So if you look at that fourth picture next to that very handsome guy in the center there, that's Myles, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. But if so that tiny little pattern there is actually Infinity Stone all over the shirt. So if anyone's a Marvel fan and they want to geek out about some nerdy stuff, comic book stuff, you can use that code that's on the screen as well. Pop Chat Happy Hour HH15 for 15% off now through Sunday. Yeah, and that code works for even if you've already purchased from the Roosevelts, and like you've got your loyalty membership set up already, like the discount still goes towards you. So enjoy that now through Sunday. And yeah, we make shirts, fun shirts. There's women's cuts, bathing suits, cuts for kids, and yeah, the whole nine. Dog shirts are coming too. So.
Dog shirts? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I feel so frazzled right now. I forgot I was.
No, this is perfect. Yeah. Lots of pop culture-y things to go with, the theme. So we appreciate it.
Yeah, all about that pop.
And the code is good through Sunday. So go shop. All right. Now our woman of the hour, the one and only, the always beautiful, always intelligent, and just overall amazing, Mindy Thomas. I wish I had like sound effects where everyone just turn off your mic or turn on your mic. Yeah.
Hey. Thanks, guys. I'm super nervous about this. I usually don't get nervous to talk in front of people, but this is like peer to peer. So it's like kind of that, oh, I hope they like me.
We're a pretty casual bunch. Let me go ahead and make sure. I'm going to give you co-hosting access so you can share your screen.
Fantastic.
But yeah, Mindy quit her job in a pandemic, as we all know, and has been just figuring things out and crushing it ever since with her blog and her new business that she launched. I'm sure she's going to get all into that, but thank you so much for presenting tonight.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I felt so honored when you asked if I would present. I was like, oh, okay, let's do it. So yeah, and I'm super excited to hang out with everyone. It's a lot harder for me to be free to hang out with all of you guys on happy hour nights now that, we're out of quarantine and my kids are doing all of the crazy things. But I think the last time I was able to log in for like 30 seconds, and then there was like a tween-age meltdown that I had to go be a mom for. So then I had to jump right back on. I was like, oh, I was right there. And then I had to go. So, but I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you guys so much for having me. But yeah, so kind of like Brianne was saying, I, a little Twitter famously quit my job in the middle of the panorama and didn't have a backup plan whatsoever. I just knew that, the whole, oh, well, the first 30 days of school are going to be online was not realistic. And luckily I didn't hold my breath any longer, because I wouldn't be here today, because that lasted the entire year. So quit the job so that I could help homeschool the kiddos. Had some contract work on the side, luckily, that, you know, kept me busy and kept some income coming through. But up until recently, it's been kind of figuring out what my next step is, and it's been trial by fire. And it's 100% been try it first, figure the rest out later. And that has actually worked out to my advantage in more ways than I could even explain here on Pop Chat. You know, I've launched the blog, I've launched a podcast, I've got to meet and connect with some really cool people through that. And it kind of brought me back to my hairstyling days, and when I just got to stand behind a chair and talk to people for hours on end. And I realized that that was the thing that I missed the most, was actually talking to people and hearing their stories and asking questions and, you know, being nosy, because it's who I am. I like to know all of the things. So that was really cool. But at the end of the day, it is very challenging to monetize those things quickly and without already having a really large following. So they're all things that I still want to make sure I go back to with the blogging and podcasting and all of that. But, you know, if I didn't figure out a way to start generating income and make it happen a lot faster than just waiting for it to grow and get sponsorships and all of the things, then, you know, I was looking at having to jump back into that 9-to-5 life, which I'm just really spoiled and I don't want to do right now. Maybe eventually someday that'll be back in my future at some point, but right now it's not. You know, I'm all over the place with my kids, and they play 2 travel sports each, which is insane to me. I don't know why I agreed to that. Neither does my bank account, but you know, that's kind of really what it is. And I realized that my time and having control over my schedule and how I run my life is more important than, you know, that 6-figure salary and the title that came along with it. So that being said, I still like money and making money and all of the things. So I kind of stumbled into creating content for Bamboo Earth, which is a skincare brand that I absolutely love. And I've been a loyal follower for, I mean, 1.5 years, I think. That's pretty much, for the most part, all I used. I would mix it with some like medical things and whatnot. But for the most part, that's what I had. So I'm going to start my little presentation here on the good old canvas, and we'll get rolling, because that's really kind of what made me realize that I could make money creating content and not have to worry about the following that I had, which for me was huge. And I was getting really frustrated when I was, you know, pitching the podcast for sponsorships and all of that. And I was getting some really like insulting offers back that, you know, didn't even cover the time it would take to create the ads, create the social posts, and all of that. And it just seemed as though they were really, really trying to take advantage of me. And nothing will fire me up more than when somebody tries to talk to me like I'm an idiot, because I'm not. So working with Bamboo Earth, they reached out to me and said, hey, if you create content for us, we want to try this whole thing where we almost get user generated looking content, but, you know, we kind of collaborate on, these are the products that we want to focus on. These are the selling points that we want to kind of highlight, and then we'll give you creative freedom and we'll pay you for it. And I was like, well, that sounds fantastic. I said, and I don't have to like post to my own social or try to get really salesy with my own audience or anything like that. And they said, absolutely not. Like, this is strictly for us. If you want to post it to your channels, you can, but you know, that's not part of the necessity. And I was like, this is fantastic. So the more and more I got into kind of practicing with them, and they were great. They were giving me feedback like, hey, change this out. This seems a little too salesy. Let's try and, make this seem a little bit more authentic. And it was another thing that was like trial by fire. So that turned into me realizing that this is actually something that I could set up as a business. And being that I have a large I guess a lot of experience, I would say, in paid advertising, whether it's on Google or social, I know how hard it is to get enough creative to be able to test to make sure that your campaigns are successful. That was something when I was with Paul Mitchell that, I could not drill through the corporate marketing department at JPMS like fast enough. They would pump out thousands upon thousands of images, videos, all of that for the product side for a $20 bottle of shampoo. But we would get one video and maybe 20 image assets for 18 months at a time to market a $20,000 education. And I actually got into a heated argument in their boardroom in Century City at the JPMS offices with John Paul DeJoria, like sitting 2 doors down, because I was getting so frustrated that such a progressive, supposedly, company could not understand that we needed more content. So I understand the need for content, especially when it comes to e-commerce brands. There's not enough, because you could think that this one piece of content is going to slam, like you spent all of the time on it and really made sure that it was edited perfectly. And then one that you create in 30 seconds is the one that takes off and generates thousands of dollars of sales in a week. So that's kind of really where all of this came from for me. And it's only really been, I would say, a month that I have been like pushing this and letting people know that I do it and sharing what I learn along the way. But I've already gotten 4 brand deals, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the ones that are out in the works are coming my way as well. So at the end of the day, how user-generated content builds authority and fuels sales isn't anything new. It's something that we've been talking about and we have been seeing happen since before the internet. But that's kind of what we're going to chat about tonight. If you guys have any questions, let me know. You can unmute your mic and interrupt me. Like, it's fine. Send up a flare gun, whatever it is. I'm pretty chill and easy. But I'll make sure that I'm not like totally missing anything. I'll try to remember to check the chat or whatever as we go through. But I like things to be a little bit more conversational. So if you have questions, stop me. All right, so we're going to start with the breakdown. User-generated content. And basically, it is what it is. It's modern day word of mouth. It's anybody that is getting on their stories or TikTok or whatever it is and sharing the things that they love. But what's interesting is that consumers are 2.4 times more likely to view UGC as authentic compared to the content that is being created by brands, which is crazy to me, because you think of all of these like massive like budgets and big camera crews and shiny glossy magazine ads and all of that, and that might catch their attention, but really what gives the authority is the user generated content, whether it's reviews or word of mouth testimonial or how somebody is using it, how they put it in their routine. And that's really just becoming the way that brands are going to establish authority, community, and loyalty. You're gonna have to have a mix of the two. I don't care what anyone says. At some point, you're gonna have to have a mix of the two. So it's also really interesting too, because only 9% of Americans trust mass media as like a great deal of it. Like, they don't really trust it, and they're always leery of it. And if they see these big kind of glossy promotions, sometimes they're like, ugh, I don't know. I don't really know how to take it. So it's very interesting to see how user-generated content is almost becoming a service, but it's very, very tricky to make sure that it's not coming off as inauthentic, because nothing will kill your brand faster. You have to make sure that you're finding the people that are actually fans of your brand. I'm not going to go and say like, oh, I'm going to shoot some content for these muscle truck tire things or whatever it might be. Like, it is very clear that that's not my lane. So clearly I'm going to stay in beauty, health and fitness, cocktails, like whatever it is, like home decor, those types of things. That's my lane, and it's going to be very apparent, because, and I'm even going to feel it kind of in my gut. If I'm going to create something and I know that it's not really a product that I love, it's so much harder for me to do, and I have to spend so much time on it. Whereas if it's something that just kind of spills off my tongue and I'm going to talk to my friends about it anyway, then that's all I have to do to create the content. So it's really, really interesting. And again, it removes the barrier for those wanting to break into content creation that don't have, the massive following or the engagement a lot of brands look for when you're looking specifically at the influencer model. I'm selling my expertise in creating content that converts sales, because I've worked in paid ads for the last 10 years. I'm not selling my audience to another brand to then get the awareness of. So it's a little bit more of a B2B side of things than it is a direct-to-consumer side of things when it comes to how I run my UGC business. So, and that brings us to the disconnect. So there are times that UGC is going to be the thing that actually kills your business or kills your brand. And if the two things can't coincide together, then it's just a disaster waiting to happen. It is literally the fire festival waiting to happen. And this is what happens when you have the polished brand generated content and it doesn't match the user generated content at the end of the line. You have the best in food, art, music, and adventure with Bella Hadid and all of these models and Kendall Jenner and all of the pretty people. In reality, they had the styrofoam box of this now viral iconic photo of the cheese and the bread and some lettuce in it and a slice of tomato. And that is what happens when the two can't find a common ground. And what you're seeing on the UGC side does not connect with what's coming from the polished, pretty brand side. So they have to work in tandem together. And if anybody wants to see these afterwards, I'm not going to bore you with making you watch all of my videos. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what I do and how I do it. So the biggest thing is the implementation of it all and how to create authentically while optimizing for conversion at the same time. It is not as easy as people think. And you can outsource all of the UGC just to your followers and everything that you want. You can run the contests, do all the things, encourage them to tag you. At the end of the day, if it's not giving a hook of the brand within 3 seconds, if they're not showing how it's solved, they're not calling out a problem, showing how they're solving it by educating you and entertaining at the same time, all within like 10 to 15 seconds max. I mean, it's all that hard work for naught. So your entire team can continue to spin their wheels trying to get the perfect piece of user generated content from your followers, or you can work with a seasoned creator that actually enjoys your brand and would use your product in real life, which, I mean, give me a weighted blanket with a side of Zoloft and hydroxyzine all day long. Like, I'll take it. Me and my anxiety will be very happy. And so that's definitely something that I use on a daily basis. My daughter, when she knew that I was getting another weighted blanket, she was like, oh, that one has holes in it. Mine is too hot. So I'm going to steal that when you're done. I'm like, no, you're not. No. But that's kind of the main thing that you want to look for in the implementation. And you have to have a call to action. what are they supposed to do after? Are they supposed to click the link below? Are they supposed to, click to shop? Like, what does that look like? And actually like we know, the call to action has to be there. So figuring out how to do that in 10 to 15 seconds, it's not as easy as people think. So that's kind of a challenge to me that I enjoy, but this tends to be the formula too that I follow on a regular basis. First 3 seconds to hook the brand, or to hook the audience, and make sure you're highlighting the brand within that first 3 seconds at the same time, but do it naturally. And then solve your problem, educate them, and entertain. And then there is the resistance, and it's not in the noble Jedi way. What's funny is that a year ago me would have seen some of the negative chatter around UGC on Twitter and would have gone like running the other way and been like, oh, people won't like it. I can't do it anymore. But I have seen some interesting conversations over the past week to 2 weeks in like resisting UGC and working with actual user generated creators that specialize in this. And honestly, it's like really fueled my fire. And I'm like, ooh, people are getting so mad about this and thinking it's a fad and then it's a bubble and it's going to burst, that I know that I'm on the right track. Because if there's a ton of skeptics, then there's also going to be the other side of it where there's a ton of people that are seeing the opportunity behind it. So it's totally kind of fueled me in a whole way that, anytime there's, a new trend or a new avenue to take, there's always a ton of people that are hating on it. So haters gonna hate, ballers gonna ball, right? So that's kind of what has been fueling me. So I've seen people, even just this week alone, saying the UGC bubble will burst. It's not UGC if you're hired. And the UGC bubble, it might burst, but it's not going to go away. It's just going to transform and evolve into something else. And I plan to be one of the first people that will transform and evolve and reinvent myself in this avenue as it goes. Like that's not going to change, but everything always changes. That's the only thing that you can actually count on, right? So, and it's not UGC if you're hired. I think that's a crock of shit. And let me tell you why. Sorry about the language, but it's not UGC if you're hired, but people love to immediately throw others under the bus if they ask for content without monetary compensation. So what is the difference? If I'm going to somebody and saying, I had a brand want to send me product in exchange for a ridiculous amount of content for like 3 pieces of product. And that felt very sleazy and slimy, as though you're being taken advantage of. What is the line of utilizing free user generated content without like compensating your audience or your customers, and just hiring somebody that already knows what they're doing, how they're doing it, and is already a huge fan of your brand? Like, I am gunning, and I'm putting this out into the universe that hopefully it actually happens, but I'm really lobbying hard, and I'm almost there to get a brand partnership with Born Primitive, which, for any of you that don't know, it is an athletic wear company that is very, very large in the CrossFit space. And I have spent thousands, a scary amount of money on all of their stuff over the course of 4 to 5 years. I've been lucky enough to have a call with their founder and talk to their teams, and it's something that they're really interested in, but they're so bogged down with, the season starting and all of that, that it just keeps getting delayed. But I am trying really, really hard, and I'm keeping it out in the universe that someday that deal is going to come through. But yes, they're going to hire somebody to create their UGC, but I was a fan of the brand first, and I have closets full and drawers full of their stuff to prove it. So what's to say that it's not UGC even though I'm hired? So I think that's always an interesting
I agree
take.
with you, Mindy. I'm just going to chime in because I've seen a lot
Please do.
of people like like knocking it or saying that like it's, but the point you made about like the line that you cross, right? Like, so if I'm taking Dots Pretzels as an example, because if they were going to pay me in Dots Pretzels, I would freaking do it. Like, and I'd still eat them regardless. So what difference does it make? And what, like, I don't even know if there's an answer. I think it's just somebody's opinion, but if the ad's good, the ad's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just one stream of getting good ads. That'll, I agree, is going to huge take off. I don't even think it's like started yet, this type.
I don't think so either. And that's, you hit the nail on the head. Like, this is just one type of ad. This isn't your entire strategy.
Yep.
Like, people keep going back and forth of, well, I don't even need to use UGC because this static photo is performing great. Good for you. Like, that's what you need to have. You need to have a different marketing mix of content just within your paid ad strategy. And then that has nothing to do with the content that's on your site and the content that's in your email and all. Like, it has to come from so many different places. But it's very, very interesting to see. But my gut is telling me that this is also just kind of the beginning of this type of content. And my gut really hasn't ever let me down before. So I'm going to go with it and just ignore the others. And then when it doesn't go away and something great comes of it, then that'll be the social proof that I needed. So I've also seen stuff that, you aren't a real content creator if you're just creating UGC. But I feel like everything that we have just kind of covered and talked about is exactly why I still think this is going to work. So the resistance has been fun. People also hated on the Spice Girls, which is why I have my Spice Girls t-shirt here. And they are still iconic and moving waves, even though they aren't officially together anymore ever since 1994. So if the Spice Girls can do it, I can do it. So with the wrap up of this little presentation here, user generated content, however you would like to refer to it, I really, really, truly believe is here to stay. But like anything in marketing whatsoever, and the strategies behind it, it's going to evolve. It's going to take different shapes, mediums, and it's going to be consumed differently. But ultimately, the brands that are open to implementing a strategy of both polished brand creative and user generated, I think they're going to be the ones that ultimately win. Because when the two say the same things, but in different ways, that's really where the opportunities lie. So that's kind of my vision. And I was really excited to share it with you guys today. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. It's all the same username. You can email me, mindy@mindythomas.com. It is something that I will gladly talk to anybody about. I think Daniel Hill is still here. We've had thousands of conversations about this already. And a lot of what I've been talking about and tweeting have been like the answers that I'm giving him because he asks me so many great questions all the time. So that's been super fun. So I will talk about this.
That makes me feel good. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome, Daniel. But I do have a little secret that I'm sharing just with you guys. So it is
Pop Chat exclusive.
It is a Pop Chat exclusive.
Wow.
But and I'm gonna give you the full skinny, the full download here. I have officially got and received my new articles of organization to create what I'm hoping to turn into a full content creator collective under the name Upload Creative will be the agency that it will operate under. And with that, I will be launching a new newsletter here very, very soon. That will probably come first over the official announcement of the new Upload Creative organization. But you can go ahead and subscribe now if you would like to the download, which will be a newsletter all about UGC things that will be premiering here soon. But you guys are the very, very first to hear about it. And you can find it at mindythomas.com/the download. Because I literally just set this up on my website about an hour before this. I finally got to it. I've been telling Brianne that this was something that I wanted to share with everybody I was like, but I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do it. But I was literally making meatballs and I threw them into the sauce, and I'm like, have my computer on the island and I'm like doing it all at the same time.
I was gonna say,
hence the
yeah,
reason I was all frazzled.
you pulled off the meatballs and the subscriber form.
Yes, pulled off the meatballs and the subscriber form. It's not live on the website. It's just for you guys right now. But yeah, that's kind of where my life is these days. I went from not having a plan at all to having a very large plan and vision, and it was worth the year and a half of twiddling my thumbs and not knowing what the hell I was doing with my life to get here.
Yes. World takeover is imminent for you, Mindy.
It's happening.
Yes.
It's happening. But I will say that a lot of it is, I mean, the huge majority of it is thanks to this fun little pop chat community here that you have created, Brian. So you made me feel welcome when I first got onto the Twitterverse right before the shutdown with pop chat on Fridays. And then all of this has been great. So,
well, I've loved leaning on you as I've been twiddling my thumbs and trying to figure things out myself too. So thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Any questions for Mindy? I know I'm not crying. What's going on?
Gosh, there's subscribers. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
I like the point you made. Oh, did I just talk over somebody?
No, please.
I do that all the time. Sam, I like the point that you made about it being a style versus like I almost want to just theoretically expand on that because I think it's interesting. I didn't think about it that way. So like, it isn't just like, it doesn't necessarily mean that user generated content can't be paid, right?
Right. I mean, technically, if you're a user of the product and you're generating the content, it's user generated content. Whether you're being paid for it or not is sort of irrelevant. It's just not organic user generated content, but it's still generated by a user, an individual versus a big company or agency. And it's, in my mind, it's more about the aesthetic. It's strategy that brands can employ because it's effective aesthetically, and it kind of compels people to buy a product because they think that other people are buying it and using it and enjoying it. It's it's
no different than hiring an agency or something to write a blog article, assuming that like our ghostwrite or something like it's. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like.
Are you going to ask one of your random customers to write a blog article for you and you'll send them a free product, but it also needs to be SEO friendly and be able to please the search engines and also be evergreen so that we can create it into 1,000 other social posts and all of the other things? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
But yet, like most brands will have like user testimonials on websites or retailer websites that are actual organic reviews of products, but then they employ that same method from people that they pay to deliver a certain message, but it's still really ultimately the same strategy.
Yeah, actually, like it's the best type of brand ambassador that you could ever hire. Like if they're pursuing you, if your customers are pursuing you and saying, I have a closet full of your product and I would love to, share, if you would just, like maybe we can collaborate. I mean, I would pay people in an instant. You're being pursued as a brand. I don't understand why, you wouldn't pay people. But I actually do have a couple of questions. Sorry, I have a lot of questions today.
I love it.
Okay,
I'm like, you always have really good questions, Jenny, and it helps me kind of learn too. It's a new space.
No, I appreciate that, Mindy. So my questions are, do you storyboard your content that you like when you film, and do you use more than one camera?
Right now I am just using my phone. I do have my eyes on a specific kind of vlogging camera that I want, but I'm waiting for it to pay for itself. But yeah, right now I am literally, this is it. It is my phone, and I have tripods and ring lights and things like that for sure. Or I'll also grab my daughter's phone and if I need kind of two angles, but I'm doing all of this just from my iPhone.
Wow, that's good.
And then I'm sorry, what was the other question?
Do you
storyboarding?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll script out kind of the feel of what I want it to be like, but I won't like script it word for word. But I'll say, and a lot of times the brands will give a really, really great kind of creative brief of what they're lacking and what they want to focus on. 9 times out of 10, it tends to be almost a talking head video because, you know, a lot of regular customers are not comfortable talking to the camera or talking on film and just talking openly. So a lot of times that's why they'll hire a creator, because they want that speaking testimonial. So, but yeah, I will get the creative brief, kind of go through that. But for the most part, all of the brands that I've worked with thus far have been really super chill of, here's just kind of a guideline of what we're looking for. We don't want to impede on your creativity because we think that that's going to kill the process of the whole reason behind hiring a UGC creator.
Nice.
So, but this is, you take it and you run with it. And within most of my packages, I'll give them 1 round of edits. So I'll send it over and say like, anything you want me to change, whatever. And then they get 1 round of edits, and then I'll send them over the final version along with that invoice.
That's helpful. Thanks, Mindy.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I also love that you, I was just gonna say, I also love that you, when you do your videos, Mindy, that you like, you don't like set them up in a way that is inauthentic to you. Like for those shoes that you did, I forgot what brand it was, but you're like, all right, I'm at my daughter's volleyball tournament. I guess this is the time where I have to make my video now, versus like,
yep,
oh, I need to be, you know, in a studio and have like a green screen behind me and make this polished thing. You make it work for your schedule and your lifestyle. So I think that's a really great takeaway.
And that's a huge thing that's super important to me. Like, I don't want to have to miss things because I have to go create content. I'm figuring out a way. And I think that's why, you know, UGC is so appealing to me, because I have to take these products and figure out how they would work into somebody's life. And the easiest way to do that is to share how they work in my life. So yeah, those noble runners mostly are, you know, for CrossFitters that are running miles and training and doing all of that. But I'm like, I need these bad boys to walk 7 miles at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Like, this is exhausting. Like,
exactly.
And they work well there. So it's all about kind of making sure that you are sharing how they work for you in your lifestyle. And that's kind of where the money shot is, I think.
I see Vic has a question. I don't know if you want me to just read it, Vic, or no, there you go. Hi.
Hey, I mean, I'm 100% sold on everything you said. Like, it's one of my favorite strategies, implementing on the brand side as well. But I'm very much in sort of like the middle management, I guess you could consider, area of my career. So I'm wondering if you have any tips, you or actually anybody on the call who might be on the brand side, tips for pitching this concept to upper management, particularly when they often don't have a lot of understanding of the digital space these days.
I'm going to let somebody else answer that because I'm going to get too bitter.
I feel like they're trying to do it all the time with HR. So just apply it to the actual product, right? Like, they tell everybody to talk about the company so much. So, sorry.
I'm very sorry. Like,
Huge.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jason is at Mount Rushmore, just very casually.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh my God.
Background, or
is this real life? This isn't one of your like contrived background. It is real life.
It's real
I was
life.
wondering why it was so bright there.
Yeah.
Admittedly, he would go this far for a bit. He would go this far.
I just couldn't find the right background for this Zoom call, so I figured this was much better.
Casual.
Epic.
Yeah.
Epic. This is probably the closest I'm going to get to Mount Rushmore anytime soon. So it's fantastic.
What are you
actually, I have
doing
a
in
question.
South Dakota? Sorry.
Yeah, I was
sorry.
going to ask, what state is Mount Rushmore in? Because I actually had no idea whatsoever. I was
South
thinking
Dakota.
Michigan, but I felt like-
Casual. Just, you know, the usual. Oh my gosh.
So
Sorry, Vic.
casual.
We'll get back to your question, but
No, this is a very, very worthy interruption. That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So Jason,
What are you doing in South Dakota?
I like that he has
Spring
an
break?
answer for a questions.
Spring break in South Dakota.
Just driving around the country right now, and the car happened to come this way.
That is fantastic.
Okay, I kind of love that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Looks like a nice day too.
It's a gorgeous day. Low 50, sunny, no clouds.
Oh, my kind of weather.
Love it. Wait, I want you to pose where you're like the fifth head and I'll take a screenshot.
Yes.
If you can get in there. There you go. Wait, hold on. I need another one. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now when you become president one day, we'll show everyone that. I love the commitment, not like Vic said, the commitment to the bit, but also just the fact that you are joining us while you're on vacation at Mount Rushmore. You're the best.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I would never miss a pop chat. You know that.
Well, have fun.
I will.
Okay, sorry, Vic. What were you saying?
Just tips on getting a project like this or a strategy like this off the ground when you're middle management, tips for pitching it to the higher ups, if anyone's had any successful experiences doing that.
Well, I have a question, actually, Mindy, what's the price point of that bamboo earth product that you promote? Like one product, for example.
It depends on which product you get. It will start anywhere from like 28, I believe, for a lot of the skincare, up to 126.
All right, so let's say like on average, it's $50 for a product, and you charge X amount for UGC content. Let's say one video, I don't know what your pricing is, but let's say it's $1,000 for one campaign, and that includes a certain amount of deliverables. So basically, in order to recoup the investment, the brand has to sell how many of those products? Like, I'm terrible at math, but 20, 25 products.
Well, let's get the calculator
Right?
out.
Like it's $50 times 25, that's $12.50.
Yeah.
So it just seems like so cost effective and such a no-brainer for a brand to spend such a nominal amount to get a piece of content that is very effective. And if they have a large following, and then that combined with your own personal following, like I'm sure if you posted on your own personal social media that you loved a product, you could probably convince 50 of your friends to actually buy it.
Yeah.
And, so,
and I've had a lot of people
it's
actually
easy
try
to
bamboo
illustrate
because
to
I
a
do share it all the
brand.
time.
It should be easy to illustrate to a brand why this type of content is so cost effective and can generate like a huge ROI.
And not only that, but you're utilizing it to build your authority, your audience, your loyalty, and you're utilizing it in ads that you track. So you can physically see the actual conversion rate, the click-through rates, the return on your ad spend. You know what is happening afterwards. There's no kind of going back and forth with an influencer or, making sure that they're utilizing their code correctly and it's in their link tree, or they're putting it in the spaces that they're supposed to. The brand itself is the one that's in control of how they place the content and how they track the effectiveness of it.
Right. And it's pretty much evergreen, because as long as the product doesn't change, they can just keep rolling out the same piece of content in perpetuity.
If I put that in the contract.
Oh, is that one of your like stipulations? That's smart that you have like a
so that is part of it. I do think if you don't want to be taken advantage of in this space, you have to make sure, just like a model would say, you have a lifespan of 6 months with this after this shoot to use this in your campaigns. That goes into my contract.
Yeah, no,
it will say you have 60 to 90 days. Anything after that, it'll be a percentage of your overall ad spend. Not to say that they can't keep using it, but they're going to keep paying me for utilizing. I mean, it's name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
I guess not necessarily name, but it is my image and likeness. So.
Fuck yeah.
I think indirectly, you almost answered my question there as well, in terms of like just breaking it down to the dollars and cents. Like, you're not just looking at your like ambassador budget. You're not just looking at your like content creation budget. You're combining the two and then factoring in how many products you'd have to sell to remake it, which is really any marketing strategy. but you get to tap into more on the brand side, more budget pools to justify it.
Yeah, and it's by comparison like much cheaper than a huge commercial video production or photo shoot.
100%. Well, thank you. And congrats on a very, very cool year.
Yeah. What other brands are your kind of goal brands, Mindy? I know you mentioned.
Yeah, so obviously Born Primitive would be huge and I would be very, very happy. That one I would probably do for less money and more product, but still money. Because that in the long run would save me a lot, because even my daughter wears it now. She likes their shorts for volleyball and their sports bras and all of that too. So that always helps. So that's a huge one. I'm really, really enjoying some of the new non-alcoholic brands that are coming out with their really cool cocktails and spirits, because I'm a sucker for packaging and some of their packaging is so cool. Like Katy Perry's new brand is really cool. But I think there's some cool opportunity in that space. And I am crying at David's background right now with Victoria in the background. Yeah, so I think that would be fun. And honestly, like, yes, I can do beauty products like the back of my hand. It's, what I know best, but I would love to just start trying things that I wouldn't necessarily think of, but have always wanted to try, because that's, I think a really authentic way to go about it. Like literally, I've been wanting to try a weighted blanket forever. And this thing is like now my favorite thing on the planet. So
be careful.
I know it's really heavy. It's 15 pounds.
Are there any DTC churro brands?
Oh,
I'm trying to find one. Eventually, I will have a brand partnership with a churro brand.
What's that ice cream brand that everyone goes nuts about? Jenny's?
Jenny's, that's another one I'd like to
like Brave Robot around here.
Is there a churro version of Jenny's where they just ship the churro fresh baked right to your door?
No.
Cinnamon roll will probably be the closest for that.
That sounds fantastic though. But yeah, that's like, I'm manifesting some sort of huge image. I would honestly rather just be like the spokesperson, like legitimate spokesperson for a churro brand, not just creating their content, but I want to be like
what about Costco? You should go into Costco. They make really good churros.
They do make really good churros. That is very, very accurate.
Like,
so would like a restaurant
come for the wholesale, stay for the
someone
churro.
Like would like a restaurant or a bar be someone that you could do UGC for, or is it more like brand?
No, I think you absolutely could. I'm
asking, like I guess it does happen, right? Like, or
price it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Because that would, I would have to make sure that I had time to go there, and you would have to physically be there and all of that. And I think it would probably take a little bit longer to shoot. But yeah, absolutely. I think that would be really cool. Like if there's some really cool bars and breweries and restaurants and stuff around here that I think would be fantastic for that. And that's something that I might look into doing eventually. But right now I'm happy just staying here in my little spot in my little office here and creating the content.
Is there an Applebee's near there?
There's plenty. We're in Ohio. I live in the land of fast food and chain restaurants here in Pickerington, Ohio.
Lots of opportunity
for the date night. Get that Bourbon Street steak and an Oreo shake.
Yeah. Speaking of Oreo, Jesse said that there's Oreo churros on churros.com. Is this true?
I've had Oreo churros. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
What?
It's a whole website. There's 4 different brands of churros here.
Wow.
Churros.com.
Jesse, I'll give you that. I'll give you that finder's fee.
Oh, you just send me some extra churros and we're good.
Fantastic.
Everyone wanted the details about the weighted blanket as well.
Yes, please.
That thing
The
looked comfy
details of
as
the weighted
hell.
blanket, yeah.
With the holes in the holy blanket, the holy weighted blanket.
The holy
That was
weighted
like-
blanket.
That was like
would've been a
cozy
really good
chainmail.
hook. It is.
Oh my gosh.
It really is.
Take the idea. Take it. Take it.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me get it for you.
Looking at this churro though, that's it. It's an Oreo in the form of a churro. I was more excited for a churro flavored Oreo.
Interesting.
Oh man, that would just be sugar. It'd be like a sugar cookie with cream in the middle.
I think they have
Oh,
churros
the cinnamon though?
Oreos,
Maybe
like a birthday cake Oreo, you know?
I want the new one. It's like confetti cake flavored for the birthday.
The peanut butter Oreo though is amazing if you haven't had it.
Birthday cake truffle balls from Milk Bar. Oh, you guys had those?
I hope we're all like taking notes because we should pitch all these companies.
We really should. I'm like gonna go through and screenshot all of these, this whole chat thread here.
Apparently, Oreo did a mystery campaign, and the mystery flavor was churro.
Ooh.
Did you know that the red velvet cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory was like a contest where they opened it up to people to submit flavors, and someone submitted red velvet cheesecake before it was like a big thing, and then for like a year the girl who submitted it had like rights to the cheesecake sort of, and they had it on the menu as Stephanie's red velvet cheesecake. And then
when was that? I worked at the Cheesecake Factory for a few years in college.
I want to say this is like 2008, maybe.
Wait, what do you mean she has rights to the like? So
Well,
every
not
time she
right,
walks in,
like-
she gets like a bite of everyone's cheesecake.
She was just like, it was named Stephanie's cheesecake, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because that'd be awesome. She's like, yeah, I own 10% of your cheesecake. Thanks.
Yeah. Cheesecake Factory, Stephanie's ultimate red velvet cheesecake. I'm trying to fact check myself, but
Interesting. A lot of the menu items there, though, are named after people related to the company.
oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Interesting. Fun fact about the Cheesecake Factory, though, my friend's uncle was a VP way up high there a long time ago when we were in college. And there was a drink on there called the Georgia Peach.
Oh, I know.
That was named after his daughter, Georgia Green.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And she actually had
that
the very
was
successful,
like a slushy peach Bellini kind of.
Mhm. Yep.
Served in a snifter glass, like a big.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, we got non-alcoholic ones when we went to the Cheesecake Factory with him when we visited him out in Hollywood. We were 18. It was pretty cool.
I vote that Chip City sponsor the next Pop Chat. I just picked up a Nutella sea salt cookie from there on the way home. Drop the link in the chat for you guys to admire that.
Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah.
I am always looking for sponsors. So yeah. I am all for all the cookies.
Brianne, we should talk again about some sponsors. We should
I know, I need
circle
help.
back.
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
Circle back.
Camber's here, jumping
Send me
in.
the deck, Brianne.
What's that?
Send me the deck.
I will. I actually I was DMing with Devin earlier about trying to get Betty Buzz as like the official Pop Chat happy hour
Oh, man.
sponsor.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and then have Myles do like a bunch of themed cocktails and stuff. Because you said there's like complications with having alcohol brands do it, right, Adrian?
I mean, I could bypass it. Certain things.
Okay,
helps to know
Don't
people.
count on him too much. He still owes me an email about a sponsorship I'm trying to get with him.
Oh my God, right. I'm in an apartment with no furniture and a dog right now. Leave me
You've been a little
alone.
busy, yeah. How's it going over there?
The move.
Yeah.
I'm fighting for my fucking life.
Wait, I think you missed it that Jason is at Mount Rushmore at the moment, just casually.
Which one?
The one in the United States.
Like which Jason or which Mount Rushmore?
I thought you meant which Mount
Rushmore. I don't know if it was like the Mount Rushmore of hip hop, which is like Drake, Kendrick, the Mount Rushmore of Will Ferrell movies. I don't know.
Mindy, are you working on anything else that people might be interested to hear about?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Oh, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I am also an associate producer on Scream the Musical.
Yes, you
Which
are.
has the best trailer.
Wait,
Well,
what?
we just got
That's
greenlit
trailer.
on our crowdfunding platform, Seed and Spark. So we are officially getting the money that we raised, and we are diving straight into round 2 of production, and we're very excited.
Congratulations.
All of the support we've gotten from you guys. So thank you.
And
I'm
it's
unmuting
going
for
to
that
be
one.
brilliant. Like
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I
What I could use your help with, guys, beyond obviously the financial contributions, which we are very thankful for, but we need to get up to 250 followers of the project. And then we unlock like a bunch of really incredible perks for filmmakers that save us a lot of money. So if you could just go to this link in the chat and just create an account and follow the project.
Oh, did you put it in there?
I will, if you guys are
Yeah.
so inclined.
We are happy to.
That would be super helpful.
My girlfriend loves Scream.
Oh, really? Yeah, this is
like she's obsessed.
Oh yeah, so am I. And Adrian, we should talk offline, but there's going to be a brand integration through Diageo that we're really excited about.
Ooh, through the big guys. Yeah, let me know.
But we're gonna keep that shot of aviation that we had in the trailer. But we have a few other moments that we're scripting out that hopefully, if the film gets distribution, we'll get paid on. That would be cool.
Yeah, drop those links. Drop a link to the trailer too.
I'm curious who you're talking to at Diageo.
Lindsay Wallner is a good friend of mine through Tribeca, so I reached out to her and we coordinated it with that I guess that other company that handles all the brand integration. So
Dollar Power or something.
Yeah. Or I can't remember the name of the company, but yeah, we're excited. So
Diageo just passes it off to an agency when they can. I'm like in the weeds with like people. I'm like, that must be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop the link or anything Scream related. I am happy to share. And
I just put the link for the trailer in the chat.
The trailer is so good.
I watched it so many times. And I think that was like a big point of conversation when we were talking to Margaret Joseph of the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes, who, by the way, she's coming out with her own line of non-alcoholic cocktails. So you should talk to her about,
Let's do it.
You see.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I bet that packaging is going to be so glam and amazing.
Yeah, we'll go to the factory.
Like, I really want to style my own little bar cart of little non-alcoholic spirits, because I mean, I drink, but it's only me. Like my husband doesn't, and it's not something a huge thing. So I've always wanted a bar cart, but I'm everything on it is we're not going to use it. I just drink wine and Trulies. So I've been wanting to all of those pretty bar cart aesthetics, and with all of these really cool mixers and stuff with the non-alcoholic spirits. I just that's everything that I want to style, and I want it out on my patio for the summer and do cool things.
But it should
I'll be the weird lady that
live in your office. It should live in that beautiful space that you're in.
That I can't have two.
You can. When are we going to get the office tour? I think we all need.
Yeah.
I know. I need to send you all of the video, Sam, so that you can help me edit it, because that's just a big project.
Just do it live right now. I don't know if you can move your camera.
We were planning to do that. We were
going
to do. Yeah, we can do that, or just Dropbox me the files.
Okay.
Not right
Another
now.
Pop Chat exclusive.
Pop Chat exclusive. I'm this. I have one of those web Logitech webcams, so we'll see if this works. Okay. So hold on. Ugly ass chair out of the way. I need a new chair. So that's my pride and joy. That is my blue velvet couch. And then I have these little purple velvet shell chairs. There's my weighted blanket. It's hanging out on there.
Want that.
And I can't really move too much.
Yeah.
But then Like, this is kind of like the little storage area and all of that. And there's my kid, one of them.
Hi.
And there's my dog.
Oh,
Nice job, like accessorizing the shelves. That's like the bane of my existence, is having an empty shelf and having to figure out all the
I
trinkets.
had to hire somebody to do it. It drives me nuts. I don't like it. It makes me so anxious.
Yeah.
is that wallpaper or paint?
It is wallpaper.
It's beautiful.
I installed it myself.
Wow, that's really
Gorgeous.
difficult.
It was
You
really
installed
hard,
it
and I'll
yourself?
never do that by myself ever again. Yeah, I'll hire
Okay.
somebody next time.
Is it the
Are
peel
you
and
needle
stick?
pointing? Is Victoria needle pointing?
She
Has,
is.
she has been.
Okay.
Yeah. I just finished one.
Let's see.
And wait.
Oh
it's-
wow.
Polly is here. Are you home from work?
That's beautiful, Victoria. Do you sell them?
Yeah,
Or you just
I
make them for
just walked in the door.
How was your
I
day?
just started. Oh,
awesome. Congrats. That's really cool.
it's just for fun.
That is cool. What's the difference between needle pointing and embroidery? Is it the same thing? Do we know?
Where you do it usually?
Where?
Yeah. So embroidery has, for some reason, the connotation behind it is that it's done on something that's like, whether it's clothing or like something that's being displayed that way, where for some oddball reason, needle pointing is usually like it's on a frame and it's something and it's done that way.
Because I've heard
This one's on a frame.
Yeah.
So,
Is
so
it a
that's
pattern?
needle pointing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a pattern or are you doing it by like freehand?
Sort of. So I when I turned off my camera, I put a photo on my screen and then drew it over it with like water wash off marker. And then I'm good. So it's kind of a pattern, I guess.
Yeah.
Fun fact though, and I'm making sure that they're not on this call right now, but the thing this is a practice version of what I'm making for, if you guys know Joe Cole, he's been like instrumental in helping me set up my plans for next month to go to Coachella. Like he's like driving me from San Diego. Like he's an absolute angel. And so he has, you can't really see, and nobody can tell him this is a surprise. But he's just got a new apartment. So I'm making him a housewarming gift, which is like, he has a tattoo of like a peace sign on the back of his arm. So it's like a peace sign, like with like rainbow flowers holding it. And then I'm putting his like professional and his creative motto that he like tweets about every once in a while on either side of it. And so it's going to be like a whole like Joe Cole thing.
Do you draw that?
That's so amazing.
That's awesome.
That pattern?
Cool.
Or
Sort of. So I traced the hand off of actually a thing I got on Etsy. So I traced the hand and the flowers, and then the writing will be freehand.
wow.
So it's like a mix
Cool.
of.
That's so thoughtful too.
Yeah, and it's fun.
That's awesome. Those
Very
are the best
soothing.
gifts. The ones that are like handmade, like all, and very thoughtful. Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned, Brandon, that your friend has because I would love to use more like kits because I'm still learning.
Yeah, she
Oh,
does.
you dropped them.
I bought one of her kits. I've only done it once, but it was like a word of the year kit that she would sell, and you could like pick what word, and then you could like put flowers around it and stuff. But yeah, they're like kits that have everything you could ever need, especially if you don't know what you're doing, like me. Yeah, threadedbytatum.com. Check her out.
Oh, cool. Oh, and she has like the stick and stitch because like that's like I'm getting to the point now where I like to kind of do like kind of like a DIY beginner kit and kind of like freehand. Like I like to mix them in.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the stick and stitch kits are very cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. I bookmarked that.
Thanks. All right. Well, thank you, Mindy, again for sharing your wisdom. We are all so excited for
welcome.
you.
Thank you so much for
Huge
inviting me and for listening to me like just chat about it. Kind of off the cuff. I mean, presentation was there, but most of it was like, you know what? I'm just going for it.
We're an off the cuff kind of group. I think we all can agree. So
I agree.
Oh, and that reminds me, now that Camber is here, she and Alyssa are going to be presenting next month. So
Whoa.
fun. Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say what we're going to talk about, or do you want to? Okay.
Yeah. Do the teaser campaign.
So basically we're going to talk about like how we went from tweets to an LLC, networking on Twitter and starting our business, and like lessons that we've learned from LLCing and things that we're doing. So it'll be fun. We have really fun, exciting merch for Pop Chat only too.
Oh, I did see a preview of it.
She did see it.
And I will be buying that immediately.
We'll give you one for free.
Okay. Yeah, you guys didn't even know each other before you started this, and you met very recently, right? You and Alyssa.
We met for the first time 2 weeks ago, like in person, but we've been LLC'd for like 6 weeks now. So definitely like a fun.
Yes, congrats.
That's so awesome.
I love a good LLC story. I'm all about it these days.
We were actually just kind of working through our like outline and presentation a couple days ago in our regular like weekly meeting.
Yeah.
We were talking about like all these different, like we're gonna do like a timeline of tweets. So like tweet the LLC pipeline. So it'll be fun.
I love that. That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
We're excited.
All right. Well, that concludes the presentation portion.